Their homestand. The 38-year-old is closing in on the all-time scoring record, just 260 points from catching Kareem. A constant in the new year has been Russell Westbrook. He's averaging nearly 21 points per game this month after a season-high 29 against the Grizz. Anthony Davis maybe, just maybe, could return this week. Nothing's been confirmed, but he's been back on the practice court. Good times are ahead. It's the third meeting of the season between the Lakers and Blazers, but the first one in Portland. Tip-off is coming up at 6 o'clock right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. Lakers have lost their last 3 trips to Oregon. We say hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by Big Game James Worthy, Derek Fisher. Guys, Geeter may or may not be here at halftime. He's supposed to be, but about 2 hours ago I got a text that said, really enjoying lounging. And what do we know is on the Oh, that's right. Remember last week when he got mad that I was at Crypto.com Arena? So you might be stuck with me all day.
Eats.
Just
Come
kidding.
on in, Geeter.
Geeter will be coming in soon. Won't you, Geeter? Having said that, the Lakers, if you missed it, Dennis Schroeder's big-time play gave the Lakers the victory against the Grizzlies on Friday. Lakers have been coming up short lately. Their previous 3 losses have been by a combined 10 points. In the victory over Memphis, the Lakers finished the game on a 15-7 run to snap the Grizzlies' 11-game winning streak. This was no doubt a solid team win. So much as Juan Toscano-Anderson took to Twitter after the game with this tweet, simply just saying, winning feels damn good. Hashtag Lake Show. So we know the story down the stretch. Big Game, I'll start with you. Great fourth quarter showing, though, on Friday. Much different than what we had seen in the previous 3. One thing is for sure, we heard it from Darvin and the guys. The resolve of this team was very evident, and it couldn't have come at a better time as it did on Friday night.
Yeah, well, they've had enough experience with, close games in the fourth quarter, some of them overtime, a few of them they probably felt like they should have won. A couple missed free throws by your best free throw shooter on your team, and just some unfortunate mishaps down the stretch. So, they've been working on trying to play that last 2-3 minutes of the game, and I think these guys who have come in and substituting for AD and Walker and, these role players have really stepped it up, and I think they've learned from their mistakes. You have guys like, Schroeder and, Russ who have learned from, some of the other games, and they've really just playing as a team and learning how to close teams out in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'd also say, it's interesting how there's no real conversation around what the finishing lineup should be or what it might look like when everybody's whole, when the team wins the game, in the fourth quarter with really just defensive plays and activity and hustle. There wasn't anything to me that stood out schematically that was so different than the other close games where the team has come up a little short. They just kept playing, making plays, never gave up on the game. Even when the Grizzlies pushed it back up to 8 or 9, Kendrick Nunn would make a big 3. Troy Brown made a timely basket. Russ would make a timely play. That's really what it takes to win close games. Yes, it would be great to have that consistent starting and finishing lineup, but sometimes you have to remember it's a competition.
Yep.
And the team that is competing the hardest from the first minute to the 48th minute usually finds a way to win.
And all the while staying composed. That was, guys, just the second win this season when trailing after 3 for the Lakers. Let's get you live to the Moda Center. Lakers reporter Mike Trudell, first on the floor as always. Hello, Mike.
Hey guys, welcome to Portland. So Allie, you and Geeter and I sometimes lament having to do these hits where it's kind of who's available and who's not. But the last couple times that I've been asking Darvin Ham about injuries, it's been some positive news as regarding Anthony Davis. And so let's get right to that, and you can hear it from Darvin's mouth just about how AD has been progressing in practice as things continue to trend in a pretty positive direction.
Look great. We have what we call a stay ready group, low minute, no minute guys, just to keep them, in rhythm, as much rhythm as possible. And he got in with that group, went up and down with some contact, and he looked phenomenal. So again, we're really being conservative and sticking to the plan, but we're getting to the point within the plan that he's starting to get a little bit of bump in with the guys, and little more contact to go along with the one-on-one workouts. So, and he's responded well to it thus far. So we'll see.
Contact does seem like a significant, next step, but is okay.
It's a huge step in the right direction of him ultimately making his way back to the game floor.
And of course, he won't be out there tonight. Darvin, just wondered what's jumped out at you as you've studied the tape for Portland the last couple, and how does that mirror with the way that you've been playing for this matchup?
I mean, they've struggled here. I think they've lost 3 of their last 10 or something like that. But it's a really highly competitive group. Whenever you got Dame and Simons in the group, I mean, along with Jeremy Grant, I mean, there's no way you can relax. Again, we've seen so far this season, not only in the Western Conference, but in the entire NBA, you can throw records out on a nightly basis, for that matter, because no matter what, you got to come in and lace them up tight and be ready to compete at a high level. And just Dame, the way he can be lying dormant within certain segments of the game, and then you look up and he's ran off 20, 25 points in a short amount of time. And same with Simons. And I was just talking to a couple of my coaches back there in the back about how much better Jeremy Grant has gotten over the course of the last 3-4 years, man. It's, he's shooting the ball at a very high clip, and one of my favorite players of all time, Jusuf Nurkic, his playmaking ability, his toughness, his grit, he really sets a physical tone. So we definitely have our work cut out for us.
Darvin Ham alluded to it, Ali. Portland has been struggling, just 2 wins out of their last 9 games. But having been here, many times since 2008, they always seem to play pretty well against the Lakers in this building. So I think Darvin Ham, you can kind of throw out what their record has been, expect them to play really well, and therefore the Lakers are going to have to play really well and some of their better basketball of late if they're going to get a win tonight.
Indeed, it's been since November of 2018, Mike Trudell, that the Lakers have gotten a win in Portland. Thanks so much. Before we go to break, guys, I do want to talk about, obviously, what Darvin just gave us, the update there, Fish, on Anthony Davis. The team, as we know, 10-11 without him, but he went through a full contact scrimmage yesterday and continues to move in a positive direction. That's good news.
Oh, that's great news. Anthony Davis is one of the top 10 to 15 players in all of basketball, and to start to think about the way this team has competed without him, like we said, 10-11 without Anthony Davis, imagine the jump that the team can make with him back on the floor. I think this window has been great for Thomas Bryant, for Wenyen Gabriel. So now you bring Anthony Davis back, and your front line becomes really formidable in terms of shot blocking, rebounding, change of pace, different guys that can cover in various defensive situations. That now you're not as concerned. Maybe if Anthony Davis picks up a couple fouls, you're confident throwing Thomas Bryant or Wenyen Gabriel into the game, knowing that the team can continue to hold it down. So all great signs to see Anthony Davis getting closer to his return.
And you always wonder what a player learns while he's sitting on the bench, like Fish just mentioned. For the coach, it's going to be interesting to see if he can play AD and Thomas Bryant together sometime. There's a lot of situations that he could throw out there, but it's good to see AD gradually coming back, getting some physical contact. The Lakers have somehow kind of maintained a decent record. That's got to be, something that's give him a big incentive to come back and pick up where he left off. Big rebounder, big steals guy, really drive their defense to where it needs to be. Offensively, I think they'll be okay, but if he comes back and drives their defense to where it was when they were 1 or 2 in the league, that could be a big time break for them before the All-Star.
Again, not back just yet, but it's okay to get excited about the positive news that obviously he's heading in that right direction. Keep it here as the Lakers and Blazers get going at 6 o'clock. Wenyen Gabriel played part of his rookie season with the Blazers. He was on the team that the Lakers beat in the opening round of the playoffs on their way to the 2020 title. And coming up